Alright guys, let me finish off this tea.
Oh my god! Oh my goodness! Oh snap! Oh man! This is reality, man! This is fucking reality! Oh my goodness! This is reality! Oh, this is reality! Oh no! This is reality! This is reality! This is reality! Oh! I'm not dreaming!
Yo, don't miss out on future shenanigans, while at the same time no up ahead anything video related. I will be appearing on these other sites. Be sure to follow. Also, support the channel over at Patreon for just $1 a month. Come on down to the description box and you will find the links. Hopefully things are going well for you. So let's go ahead and have some fun while we're still having fun. And we're gonna go through the hoopity hoopla, the doopity doo, and the bobbity bobbity boos of a legendary long-running video game franchise that is known to be Tetris. Tetris is a game that involves blocks. Nothing but blocks. And of course, you build, and build up your score, ladies and gentlemen, until you get your game over. Longest running franchise, one of the earliest games. And yeah, it came from Russia, and from Russia with love, Tetris. Now, the way how gameplay works in Tetris is that you are given a T-shape. A T-shape, okay? You have an L shape, a reverse L shape. Okay, so you have your Z-ish shape, and you have your reverse Z-ish shape. Okay? You have your block piece, and your line piece. Simple, right? So to basically recap this up, you have the T piece, the L pieces, the Z pieces, the block pieces, and the line piece, ladies and gentlemen. When we're talking about Tetris, this is the gameplay layout of traditional Tetris, a traditional layout. Now, however, it consists of a little puzzle board, a little score bar. The next thing shows you which shapes you're going to get after your current one, so what shapes you're going to get next, and the hold, which is not available in early titles, but however, after the early titles, we hit the later titles, and you have the option to hold on to a piece till later. Okay, so the goal here is to make a line, and as you make a line, you begin to clear, correct? So, I have a block piece, a reverse Z piece, a L piece, a reverse L piece, another block piece, and I have a line piece. So I have another line piece going up ahead. That line piece, we go straight down. So when that line piece goes straight down and closes off the little gap, you make your line, and then the next thing you know, your line clears off, and pretty much what remains will drop down. Simple, and you get a score like that. Okay, so simple, right? However, the biggest thing to game over is that your top of the board is your deadline. This is your deadline. Okay, this is your death line. So I'm going to go ahead and have this thing go down. So I'm going to go ahead and blow this match on purpose. And then we will go ahead and hit that line piece. Boom. So when you have that line piece going up ahead, you see where that line piece goes ahead, and oh, game over. That's where you get your game over. Alright? Now, in order to basically spice up the difficulty, the game speeds from slow to fast. So you start off slow and then it gets faster and faster. Alright, there are times where you hit level 20 and the game gets way too fast and all that kind of stuff. So, the goal here is basically clear lines and pretty much build up a high score. Simple. Okay, so you start off from nothing, and of course you build your stuff around here. So you start off from nothing, it's kind of like how it works. So, yeah. So you do have your next piece, and forgot my TP, and I'm holding on to my black piece. Okay, so I'm here at level. I forgot to put in the level section. Hello, level. What level am I? I am in level 20 because the game, because I wasn't able to pick up with the game's speed because I don't know what I was thinking. Hello me. What is wrong with me? Okay, so level 20. So as you progress through levels, you go faster. Now you can clear 1 lines. You can clear 2 lines in a row. You get a double line. 3 lines in a row, triple line. 4 lines, a Tetris. So that means how you get that Tetris is that when you wind that line piece all together, this line piece clears off 4 blocks at once, calling it a Tetris. 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 And multiple Tetrises in a row is like a back-to-back or something like that. Yeah, they call it a back-to-back. And there's like tricks and techniques called the T-spin, where you go ahead and rotate your T-piece into a last-minute effort. So that's an interesting move. So if we go over the franchise history, it began as a Russian import title made available to Russian PCs. However, the game ended up being available internationally, ended up getting localized, everybody was having a fun time, and then however there was a lot of hooplas coming from left and right, and then the next thing you know, from international to now multi-platform international, where we started seeing Tetris games appear on NES, Game Boy Advance, and then further down the line, every single platform of gaming as soon as possible will end up with the Tetris game eventually. So that's what happens. And when the series went multi-platform, there was this thing known as the Tetris Company, the Tetris people, the official Tetris Company, which will go ahead and will give games the Tetris official game, the Tetris official game seal, all that stuff. So when you have Tetris having its own company and giving you that official seal of Tetris, it's a very special thing for Tetris games. Okay, so let us all go through the latest release and the upcoming release of Tetris. However, the latest release is Puyo Puyo Tetris for the PlayStation 4 and the Nintendo Switch. So, for the PlayStation 4 and the Nintendo Switch, Puyo Puyo Tetris was localized in North America and, of course, Europe. However, that game was also released on PC via Steam. However, a lot of you guys will go ahead and say, hey, what about Xbox One and PlayStation Vita? You're right. Xbox One, PlayStation Vita, Nintendo 3DS, import only. You're going to have to import your Xbox One version. As for the upcoming Tetris game that's coming out this fall is Tetris Effect for the PlayStation 4. It's exclusively for the PlayStation 4, and however, it is very aesthetic Tetris from the makers of Rez, and of course there's Lumines. So they kind of like, hey, give Tetris to me. Give the rights to Tetris to me. I want to come out with something aesthetic and something beautiful. Next thing you know, Tetris Effect, out of nowhere, fantastic. It nearly put me to tears because of how beautifully artistic it really is. Now, I have already put down 3 things, so there are various Tetrises made by various companies. Nintendo Tetris is Tetris done by Nintendo. So, when it came to Tetris, it was made by Nintendo officially for their NES. Okay, so simplistic enough. And then they kind of got weird with Tetris 2, where it started combining Tetris with Dr. Mario stuff. Okay? And then, however, it just went back to normal when it came to Tetris DS, and it became one of the first Nintendo DS titles to offer online play via their little Nintendo Wi-Fi connection stuff. Alright, simplistic enough. And then there's the rare Tetrises. Tengen Tetris, which is like a huge competitor to Nintendo Tetris on the NES days. Like, Tengen Tetris on the NES is way rarer and more pricier compared to NES Tetris by Nintendo. So, NES Tetris by Tengen is the most favorited out of the bunch. So then you have Tetris done by Sega. When it comes to Sega Tetris, Sega Tetris becomes very rare because Sega Tetris a lot of the time becomes import only. And I'm excluding Puyo Puyo Tetris because Puyo Puyo Tetris combines Puyo Puyo with Tetris, and people can go head to head with Puyo Puyo and Tetris, either switch or combine, all that kind of stuff. It's a fun little party combat puzzler. Okay, so we have Nintendo Tetris, Tengen Tetris, Sega Tetris. What other Tetrises do we know? Oh, THQ Tetris is like Tetris Worlds. Okay, THQ Tetris like Tetris Worlds. We have Tetris Worlds. That looks very interesting. Oh, yes, that's right. Jalico Tetris. Like, oh my goodness. Jalico Tetris. Like Tetris Next. That's right. Tetris Next. My goodness. So there's various companies that are known for their tech. And, of course, if you want to talk about there's EA Tetris. Okay. And Ubisoft Tetris. Oh yes, allow me to get that through. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, EA Tetris and Ubisoft Tetris. Now, if we're going to talk about Tetris, Tetris has revolutionized and began in the 80s, and then we went all the way down to further down. So, Tetris has been around the 80s and have been around throughout gaming history, that we could still say that to the extent. So, the latest thing ever is Tetris Effect, right? Yes, Tetris Effect coming out for the PlayStation 4 this fall. Okay, thanks to multiple Tetrises, guys, multiple Tetrises, there's like a dozen other Tetrises, but the thing here is that there's Tetrises done by various companies, which as a result, there were many companies that were touching on Tetris, and which as a result, as said at the same time, there would be a shit ton of Tetris games. I lost count. And thus concludes our history lesson on the world of Tetris. Anyway, guys, that is all. I'll be looking forward to you in the next video. And get those Tetrises rolling, my friends. Because, you know, actually, in future videos, there will be Video Game Classics episodes on Tetris stuff. Tetris! Let's go crazy.